listening to Inland Empire Real Sense Radio with local expert John Rigler. Now, here's John.
Welcome back to Talk Radio KTIE 590. You're listening to the Inland Empire Real Sense Radio. This is a production of the Real Estate Radio Network. When we left for a break, we were here in the studio with Bob Irish. Bob has a great deal of experience and a whole bunch of history that he can offer to us. Bob is a successful broker owner of 2 different offices here in the Inland Empire, Lake Hills Realty, as well as the Short Sale Gallery. And Bob has been working in the real estate industry since he was a young lad. What I want to talk about is, if you look at what he has done, he is involved with HAFA. He is involved with NAREP, which we're going to get into all these acronyms. He writes a regular article in the Press Enterprise Real Estate section every Sunday. He's given countless hours of valued counsel to distressed homeowners, helping them through what they felt were impossible odds. I've known Bob for several years, and I've closed transactions with him successfully, like I said before. Bob doesn't seem to be one of the realtors that would sacrifice the integrity for the almighty buck. Those are the kind of people that I surround myself with. I look for people who have your interest at heart. Bob's a half-approved realtor. He's the membership vice president for the Inland Empire chapter of NAREP, plus a whole bunch of other organizations. Bob's even been out to TIGAR, which is the local association of realtors in the Corona-Norco area. I've heard him speak there. Very, very great deal of information that he has to offer. I am so excited that you're here. Bob, again, welcome to the studio.
Thank you, John.
You've been in the real estate business since you were a kid. Is that what you were telling me the other day?
My parents opened up a real estate office in Cerritos when I was 10 years old.
And
they said, son,
get your license.
Here's a whole bunch. Yeah, get your license. Here's a whole bunch of flyers, and there's a whole bunch of houses. Get started. And that was it. Pass out flyers for my parents, and 20 years later, guess who's passing out flyers for me? My kids.
That's perfect. On their motorcycles. With all your experience, with all your background, with all of these groups that you're involved with, what I would like to do is just cut to the chase. What is your take on the current market as far as real estate, and what direction do you think we're headed, or do you think that we're going to see this double dip? Everybody's talking about a double dip, recovery, more of the same of what we have. What do you think is the direction?
Well, I've been watching prices for the past 2 years. I've been doing short sales for 4, and I bought my house a year and a half ago, and that neighborhood, that house, that floor plan is still exactly the same price it was a year and a half ago. So the market in that area hasn't dipped one bit. So overall, prices really have been stable for about a year, I'd say. Is it going to increase? I sure hope so. Even if it's just a normal 3, 4, 5%, which we've been used to for the past 50 years, there will be an increase. When will it start to show? I don't know.
I talk on a regular basis about the interest rates and how low they've been, and you're talking about in your area and the prices being stable or possibly increasing. Now we're seeing an uptick in interest rates. I can't seem to avoid talking to the point that there is no time like than the present to purchase a home, because if you're looking at the value of a home going up and being able to trap an interest rate that is so attractive, but we might not be seeing it in 2 months. Are you getting a lot of people coming in with that thought process, or are they still on the fence?
To be honest, buyers are really on the fence at this point. They don't seem to see that the lowest historical rates ever are still out there, and the prices are at a 10, even 15-year low. And it is a time to purchase, whether you're an investor or a first-time buyer. You have to purchase before the interest rates go up, which will lower your buying power, or before the prices go up and you just are priced out of the market once again, like we were in 4, 5, and 6.
I think the last couple of weeks I was talking about people that I've seen and known who were clients that would chase the market, whether they were in the process of selling their house to purchase a new house, and they figured that they would wait until interest rates came down a little bit more to react, or wait until the values and the prices went up to react. What a lot of people don't understand is if the prices are going up on other houses, they're going up on your house as well. So there's no happy medium there. I'm constantly pushing people to work with professionals such as yourself, because you have the MLS. You can go into the MLS and you can look at a sales price and you can say, okay, this is a great deal based on the comparables in the same marketplace, or this is a bad deal and let's offer that. And when you have let's talk about short sales just a touch right now. I know I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but as far as short sales, do you have a lot of people right now that are coming to you with mortgage problems and they need to sell their homes on a short sale? That we have the short sale gallery. That's one of your offices.
Right.
Are you getting a lot of those?
I probably get 10 phone calls a week from people who say that they are having a problem with their mortgage and they don't know what to do. So the first thing we want everyone to do is try and do a loan modification. If you can stay in that house, we want you to get a loan modification. We want you to stay there. But if you can't and you're 3, 4, 5, 6 months behind and you haven't done anything, the foreclosure is going to happen. So in the middle there is what we do for short sales. And Rescue is one of the acronyms that maybe you didn't mention yet. That is a company, it's a nonprofit that HUD counselors will counsel the borrower. It's free. As a realtor, I send you there for free, no obligation. HUD counselor will take you through it, take you directly to the bank, take all your information for you. If you get the loan mod, great. Tell somebody else about it. Tell them what a nice guy I was. But if you don't, if you can't qualify, then your other option is a short sale. If not, the house is going to get foreclosed on.
So what I'm gathering, when they come to you to talk about a short sale, you are sending them to a nonprofit for the counseling for the modification. Now, does the counseling company put everything together and help them through the modification, or do they just counsel them and send them off on their merry way, or how does that work?
These HUD counselors that work for the nonprofit truly will help you. They will give you a financial worksheet, a hardship letter. They'll tell you need, your last 2 paycheck stub, your last two checking account statements. They will, put all that into their software system, and they will forward that to the bank on the person's behalf.
Well, I haven't heard a lot of success stories when it comes to modifications. I've heard a lot of people going to the banks and filling out thousands of pieces of paper and faxing over. And a lot of these banks, which is amazing to me, will not accept anything by a scanned email. They will only take a faxed copy of something. And I've actually had some of my clients come into the office and literally fax 200 sheets of paper to a bank, and then the bank calls them back and says, well, we only got 45, do it again. Do you see the banks being very effective when it comes to the modifications? Do you see much success rate?
Unfortunately, the success rate is lower than one would hope it would be, but the reason a lot of the banks can't do a loan modification is because the criteria for such is very limited. If you don't have a regular W-2 paycheck job, if you don't live in the house, there's no way you're going to get a loan modification. So what the other problem is in fact, there's a story on Wells Fargo that I just saw a couple of days ago that said that the bank was telling the homeowners to be late on their payments so they qualify for a loan mod. Well, then as soon as they tried to get a loan mod, they said they didn't qualify because they were late on their payments. So they weren't a good risk. So it's a catch-22. A loan modification works really well for someone who's current, who has a regular W-2 paycheck job, and who by changing the interest rate or by lowering a bill or two can get their payment to be 31% of their income. That is a successful loan modification. And those are the ones that will work every time.
Well, is this Now, I've heard of HAFA. Is that you're a HAFA realtor? Is this is the HAFA program? Is that short sale? Is that loan mod? What is a HAFA?
There's two. There's HAMP and there's HAFA. HAMP, we'll just go, that's the Home Affordable Modification Program. HAFA is the Home Affordable Foreclosure Alternative. So HAMP is for loan mods, and that's what you should do first. If your HAMP is denied, that loan mod is denied, then it becomes a HAFA candidate for a foreclosure alternative, because the banks do not want to foreclose. They do want a short sale to be completed in lieu of doing a foreclosure. They want foreclosure to be the last option. So HAMP is the government program for mods. HAFA is the government program for foreclosure alternatives or short sales.
Well, that sure makes sense to me for a bank to go through a short sale, because then they're probably going to get a little bit more money for a home, because the home is not distressed by that point. It hasn't been abandoned. It hasn't gone to weed. The pool isn't green, and so on and so forth. It seems to me that short sale would be the answer in most cases if they can't do that modification. And from what I've seen, like I said before, I haven't seen that many. I need you all to stay with us. Bob is here. We have a lot of information to cover on modifications, short sales, real estate in general, and I don't want you to miss any of it. But in the meantime, Bob Irish's direct phone number, 951-313-6080, 951-313-6080, and my direct off-air number is 1-800-658-8183. Stay with us. We have a ton of information.